Boy, you scared me. I didn't see you standing there. Speaking of scary, can you imagine getting an audit letter by Microsoft and you go through the audit and you tell Microsoft that, hey, I have end customer licensing installed in my data center and therefore I don't have to report those licenses. Well, Microsoft's going to say, well, you need to prove that these licenses are eligible. So how do you do that? Well, the one way you could do that is go back to your customer and say, well, hey, we're going through an audit. You need to verify that these licenses are eligible to be transferred into a third-party data center. That's one option. Second option is just to say, okay, well, we're going to report them under SPLA. We're going to true up these licenses. Probably not the best idea because essentially your customer then is almost double paying for those licenses if you decide to maybe charge them for those licenses. But yeah, really, there's only two options. You can't just say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not going to disclose that information. Again, when licenses are installed in your data center, you have to prove the way you're licensing. And so it's really super important to have some sort of documentation in place with your customer that says whatever licenses that are being transferred into our data center, you're responsible for. I think I mentioned this on a previous video, but I get asked, hey, how does AWS do that? And AWS does a great job of educating their customers on the Microsoft licensing options. But essentially what they say in their contracts is, hey, Mr. Customer, we're responsible for everything under our Microsoft agreement, so AWS is SPLA, but you, Mr. Customer, are responsible for anything under your Microsoft agreement. And so again, there's a separation there, what you're responsible for as a hoster versus what your customer is responsible for. So those are some things to consider as you start to think about, hey, how do I manage in customer licensing inside my data center? I think that's really a good reason why you must have some sort of software asset management system to track these licenses and use Octopus Cloud to scan your data center and kind of understand what's installed, and also maybe ways that you can maybe reduce some of your licensing. Can you imagine going to your customer and saying, hey, look, we looked at your the licenses that you're transferring over to our data center, and maybe there's a better way we can license this. You know, like maybe they're bringing over a Windows Server license. Well, maybe if you tell your customer, hey, license this in SPLA, it'll save you X amount of dollars, and you can still run Windows Server that you purchased on your own premise. So kind of get the best of both worlds. Anyways, guys, now that you've given me a heart attack, hopefully I didn't give you a heart attack talking about audits. But until next time, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.